Hey bosses, we are on day one of the Resilience Reboot. And y'all, I am so excited about what I'll be sharing over the next 12 days. If you have not already heard, I will be launching starting today what we call the Resilience Reboot. This is going to be a 12-day process where I'm going to be sharing small bite-sized tips and routines that you can practice. And my recommendation is to find one thing that you can start doing. I'll be giving you daily takeaways that you can do to incorporate this throughout your day, as well as things that you can even recommend your team members to also do as well. You can also recommend this to your family members. So I want you to share this with anybody who you feel that may benefit from this. And also, if you're not able to make all 12 days, again, I'll be going live all 12 days at noon. If you're not able to make it, totally fine. You can download a copy of the 12-day resilience reboot. And you can go to shiftsandsuccess.com/freebie12. Okay. That's shiftsandsuccess.com/freebie12, where you can receive a full list of all the tips and all the routines that I'll be sharing throughout these next 12 days. And then I have a surprise for you guys. So I want to stay connected with you. I'll also be hosting more events over the next couple of months that I will be announcing. So please share with me. Feel free to sign up, share your email, and I'll make sure that I give you all the latest and greatest news of what's happening with Wine and Mastermind. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, we are on day one of the Resilience Reboot. And again, the point of this is to help you as a leader. My goal is to really help women in leadership, y'all. I really want to focus around women in leadership. If you are a woman in leadership and you are in a place where, hey, we're at the top of the year. Again, I'm not the type who really believes in New Year's resolutions and things of that nature, but I do believe that you can take bite-sized steps to really pursue and really accelerate to create really large outcomes, right? We want large wins. And so that's the goal. And so this 12-day resilience reboot is to help you to become a more resilient leader so that you can enhance your career and family dynamics. So most of what I'm going to be talking about is really going to be available to help you not only in your career and accelerating as a leader, but it's also there for the purpose of helping you with how do you show up as a leader in your family, right? When you are, if you have children, if you have a spouse, if you have other members or partners, whatever it is, right, in your family dynamics, how can you show up as a better you and remain resilient, right? So day one, we're going to talk about mindfulness. So with mindfulness, I get the question often. And as a matter of fact, when I was early on in my career, I was experiencing a lot of stress, and a lot of the stress led to other emotional factors that I experienced, emotional, psychological, physical things that I experienced along the way that I didn't really know what to do with that, right? And so I came across the term mindfulness. I came across meditation. It's not the same. I'm not talking about meditation today. I am talking about mindfulness. And mindfulness, what it is your ability, in the simplest terms, it's your ability to be fully present in whatever it is you're doing, whatever task you're doing, you're fully present, you're fully engaged in the work that you're doing. Now, the way that I would describe mindfulness, if you've ever experienced a time where, let's say you may have been commuting from work to home, and by the time you get home, the only thing you can remember was the moment you stepped in the car, and let's say you buckled your seatbelt, you put your phone on the dashboard. That's the only thing about your commute that you can remember, right? You don't remember whether or not there was traffic. You may not even remember how you got there. You may not even remember the route that you took, right? Maybe there are different routes that you may take on your way home. You may not have even remembered what the weather was like during that time, right? Your brain was in autopilot because maybe you were thinking about 10 different things that happened throughout the day. Or maybe you're working in a particular project and there was something that's just sitting on your mind. And so what you realize is that you weren't really fully present in your commute home, right? That is where mindfulness comes in. Let me tell you why. Because when you think about our brains, if we're not mindful, right? typically our brains are going to be operating in autopilot for most of the day. And so that's where mindfulness comes in, because when we are showing up at work, right? When we're showing up at home and we are having conversations with our team members, we're having conversations with our family members, if we're not mindful enough to truly be present in that conversation, we can miss out on a lot of information, right? We can miss out on so much information. We can miss out on really establishing genuine relationships with the people around us, right? Even in terms of if we're operating in autopilot, if we're not mindful of that, when we're working on projects, I don't know about you all, but I can recall several times where my brain will just literally wander. I'll start thinking about everything that I have to do when I get home. I may be thinking about, because I'm a foodie, so I may be thinking about what's on the menu tonight. What am I cooking tonight, right? Like, if you can relate, I want you to put it in the chat, because I know I'm not the only one. But you get to a place where you're literally just not present in the work that you're doing. So think about how that's affecting your quality of your work. Think about how it's affecting the quality of your relationships. And again, this is why mindfulness is so important. And so starting the day with mindfulness for just 10 minutes has been shown to reduce stress by 32% and enhance focus and attention, according to the Journal of Psychotherapy. Okay. There are also several studies to support that many people who practice mindfulness, they report an increased ability to relax, a greater enthusiasm for life, and improve relationships, right? So what it tells us is that when we're able to be more mindful throughout our day, we're more intentional about being mindful throughout our day. It can help us to create a better focus in the work that we're doing, reduce stress, as well as improving the relationships that we have, right? So I'm going to share with you a very simple way that you can begin fostering mindfulness throughout your day. And so I found this on mindful.org, and they share the acronym STOP. Okay. And so S stands for stop, meaning take a second to just be with yourself. So you're going to find a place where you are in a comfortable position. It's a quiet setting, and you're literally to yourself. That may be in your office. It may be going to just the restaurant, right? Going to a room, a quiet room, going outside, taking a walk, going to your car, finding somewhere that's comfortable for you. And the T stands for take a break. When you take a break, take a breath. When you take a breath, it basically means you're going to pay close attention and focus on how you're breathing in and out. This is your way of just allowing yourself to just release whatever it is that you're feeling, right? So you're taking a breath. And what I often do is I try to, especially when I'm in a quiet setting, I try to pay attention to my breath coming in and out of my nose, right? In and out of my nostril. And I try to focus in on how I'm breathing, and I try to slow my breathing down while I'm taking that step as well. The O stands for observe your experience. This is where you take time to just really acknowledge how are you feeling, because a lot of us, we really don't like to acknowledge how we really feel. Sometimes depending on your environment, where you are, you may feel as if maybe you have to show up happy all the time, right? And that's not always the case, because we're human. And so during this moment where you're observing your experience, you observe your emotions, you observe what you're feeling. How is your body feeling? Is it achy? Do you feel great? Do you feel, rejuvenated? Do you feel pain? When you experience what's around you? So I always say, observe what's going on internally as well as what's happening externally. So you scan your body, right? Allow yourself to do it free of judgment. You're not getting upset. You're not allowing yourself to get upset. You just acknowledge this is what it is, right? You're looking at it from a very objective point of view. And then externally, observe your environment. Maybe you're outside, taking time to just be in the moment and observe the beautiful trees that are outside, observing, the people that are walking by, you're observing the weather, whatever it is, taking time to observe maybe what are you smelling during that time, right? What do you feel during that time? And that's what you're going to do during your observation period. The last one is P, and that stands for proceed. And so when you proceed, now that you've acknowledged how you feel, you've taken some time to observe how you feel, what's around you internally, externally, right? Now you're going to proceed. Find whatever it is you need in that moment, right? That's going to help you continue. That's going to help you to be able to progress. So, for example, if you are feeling very anxious about something, let's say you're working on a huge project, you have some really aggressive goals that are ahead of you for that week or for that month, right? Instead of judging yourself because you're anxious, because I know some people get upset, and we get upset, we get frustrated because we're anxious or we're allowing a situation to bother us. Instead of allowing yourself to be stuck in that place of anxiety, maybe take some time to just kind of write out what you're feeling, right? Maybe taking some time to just jump on the phone really quick and call a friend and just let them know, hey, I just want to get this off my chest, right? Sometimes I tell people journaling, do a quick journal, or whatever it is you need in that moment to help you address what you're feeling, right? Whatever it is you need in that moment. If it's a hug, right? If it's a phone call, whatever it is, allow yourself that space to just fully be present and be in that moment and just acknowledge where you are, right? So I want you to experiment with this. Today, I want you to take some time to go through this acronym of what this process of what we call stop, right? Where you're going to stop, you're going to take a breath, observe how you're feeling, and then you're going to proceed. All right. And then I want you to let me know, how are you feeling? What did you observe when you took that time? I would recommend that you do it probably now. This is midday. Take some time to do it. And then also by the end of the day, you can do it right before you leave work. You can also do it while you're in your car. You can do it in the shower. Don't overthink this thing, because a lot of times people just overthink what it means to truly be present. As you get better with this over time, what you're going to find is that you're going to begin being more present in your conversations. You're going to begin being more focused in your work. You're going to start seeing that your stress level will likely go down as you continue to do this over a period of time. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you observe in this process. And I will see you guys on tomorrow for day 2. Take care.